advised, you are coming in weak and unreadable.
Say again, Con Tower. This is Haji. Do you read me over?
Macho, this is Con Tower. I read you me with Charlie.
Com Tower. Request permission to launch and commence the field op. Over.
Stand by. Macho, permission granted. Say again, permission granted.
Roger that. Launching podcast in 3, 2. You are now entering the field op with your host, Pacho Correa, Chief Warrant Officer 3, United States Marine Corps retired. Get some. Hurrah!
Get some. Hurrah! What's going on, people? Baby Friday is upon us. Friday night's eve, as I also like to call it. But goddamn, it's almost the weekend, people. Hey, we got an awesome show for you today. But let's get all the pleasantries out of the way. Why don't we do that? Hey, when was the last time? Are you where you want to be financially? I mean, ask yourself that. Really ask yourself that question. Are you tired of being broke? Do you think you're making at the end of the month? Is there any money that you're paying yourself? If those are questions that that you don't want to answer out loud, but really take a listen. Let someone take that responsibility and help you get where you want to be. And that's where some good financial coaching. That is some of the things that we bring to the table and making sure that you achieve, you hit your financial goals. And at the end of the day, if you want to be a financial burden to your kids when you get older, then that's on you. But let somebody in the industry that knows what they're doing get you, hit your target point, so that way you don't have to go back to work in your 60s, 70s, and 70s like most regular Americans are doing nowadays. So it's all on the show right there. Hit the link, and somebody will help. Probably me. I'll be. We'll get you some really good information and get you where you want to be, because at the end of the day, I think you deserve it. Okay. This show is also brought to you by the VA and the folks over there taking care of us fellow veterans. So let's take a listen to Mike Richmond.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. If you're having a tough time or thinking about suicide, you're not alone. And there's hope. VA's Veterans Crisis Line is full of responders who listen and help. Many are veterans or have veteran family members and friends, so they're prepared to address your challenges. After calling, you'll be connected to the next available crisis line responder. That person may ask, are you thinking of suicide? Or what plan can we put in place to keep you safe today? If you choose, the responder will share your name and personal information with your local VA Suicide Prevention Coordinator, who'll connect you to local VA assistance and resources. Don't wait. Dial 988, then press 1.
Because at the end of the day, folks, listen. If you're struggling and you don't want to talk to somebody really close to you, because sometimes we just don't want to do that. Reach out to somebody, because nobody, as many great things are out there, challenges in the name of veteran suicide. You just need to be here and basically we don't want you to be a statistic. Okay, so reach out to somebody, and if you haven't heard from a buddy in a while, that's your homework for this weekend. So see, I'm already closing out the show already ahead of time, because I got some really cool stuff to talk about today. Okay, this show is also brought to you by the folks at SitchRadio.com. So thanks so much to Brian Colburn. By the way, I just want to give a quick shout out to Brian Colburn. If you want to get to be where you want to brand, build your own brand, get to know about AI and all kinds of cool stuff, listen to this man, listen to his shows, and reach out to him. I mean, that dude is a mad scientist when it comes to tech. Spent an hour with him, and it was one of the best hours I ever spent with anybody, learning a lot of knowledge. So reach out to Brian Colburn. You go to briancolburn.com, the accountables. I mean, he's all over the place. Reach out. Like, this show is also brought to you by the Great American Constitution. Yet, because hey, America is getting ready for her birthday here pretty soon. But with that being said, hey, if you support this show, freedom of speech, the right to bear arms, America, all that good stuff, then like, subscribe, and follow, and stick around. And if you don't, that's fine too. That's your prerogative, and that's your right as an American that you can do that. So check out something from situated.com and support a local podcaster, because at the end of the day, hey, we're just here bumping our gums and supporting, freedom. So, all right, I think that's pretty much it. Let's get this bad boy started. Hey, this weekend, yes, I am a Primerican. I do Primerica. I think it's a great company. Let's be honest. I help a lot of families financially, and I help myself too, because when I was a lot of us started our life as a PFC and upside down, and the service does a lot of great things for us. They automatically kind of spoon feed us or take care of us, and with single life group life insurance, which is life insurance. The thrift savings plan, investing, college, the Montgomery GI Bill, a lot of those things, right? So as we go on in life, we kind of just we take those for granted. I know I did, and we get into debt and all these other things. But so I've been doing this, the Primerica thing for a while, helping families with their investments and so on and so forth. And this weekend I attended a Zoom call with one of the speakers. And by the way, this guy, phenomenal dude. I mean, you can anybody and everybody can relate to this dude. Okay, he is from Los Angeles. His name is Art. You can find him on Instagram. Art Ramirez, I believe is his last name. Phenomenal guy. I mean, if you talk to this guy, you would never thought that this dude was a millionaire. I mean, you would think that this is a regular Joe. And he started out working. He quit high school. He needed. He lived in Los Angeles, in East Los. So comes from very humble, very very humble beginnings. Had to quit school to help out support his family, and basically, help out his mom and so on and so forth. So, and then obviously he got married and everything. So he worked in a warehouse, blue collar. I mean, again, when I say humble beginnings, my man is humble beginnings. And, as he started doing this line of work and basically getting better at doing things and putting himself in financially in a much better status, he says, one of the things that I started finding out is that people hate on you. People don't want you to get ahead. The more people hate on you or throw shade at you, it's because basically they're seeing a reflection of themselves, a better version of themselves and where they can be, and that makes them vulnerable. And I was like, damn, that is true. Think of yourself the last time. Ask yourself this question: when was it? When you thought of a great idea or somewhere that you wanted to be or do, who was there next to you saying, "Well, why are you going to do that?" Or why are you going to try to do that? Why are you going to school? Why are you getting educated? Why are you saving up? Why are you trying to get out of debt? Or blah blah. If you're from the hood, you're an immigrant. That people don't get ahead. It doesn't matter. Think who was there, kind of holding you back. Or was that you? You yourself were the one, oh, well, because I come from this, because I was this, because I was abused, because of whatever. We put, society, people, and ourselves, we put these binding chains on ourselves. And that's what the only person in the world that can prevent you from maximizing and being your best is haters and yourself. And guess who's number one on that shit? You are. Okay. And I'm speaking, trust me when I tell you, I'm speaking from experience. I spent a long time being my own cock blocker per se, or being my own hater. And it took for me later in life, after I basically left, and when I say what I'm about to say is that no blame to the other person, but when I left a marriage, and left broke. I mean, broke as a joke. You know what I'm saying? I left broke, basically, with nothing. One day I remember I had gained some weight, and I was sitting and I was just kind of basically I was tallying up my life, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? What happened to my life? Here I am. I came from very humble beginnings, from a farm down in Colombia, to here to this great nation of ours. I joined the best freaking branch in the world. Hey, look, I'm a fucking Marine. I'll say that all the way to the grave. All right. So my other fellow armed services and brothers and sisters, just fucking humor me on this for a while, okay? So, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, I was broke. I mean, I was broke as shit, and here I am. You know, I'm like, man, you know, I was in the best branch in the world. I started as enlisted. I retired as an officer. Here I am. You know, I'm looking like a fucking food blister. You know, I gained some weight and blah blah, and then I'm looking at the mirror and I was crying. And I was going through some serious shit. I mean, I was on the verge of, you know, basically checking out. And I just look for whatever reason, I'm in my bathroom, and I just looked up and I looked at myself, and here I am looking at this dude, and I said, God damn, man, I don't know how to like an epiphany. And I said to myself, I was like, dude, you know, you've been with me for all these years. You've been my ride or die, good and bad, through the good times, through deployments, whatever. And why is it that I treat you the shittiest? And I put you aside and everybody else before you. You know, why do I do that? And I told myself, hey, no more. We're fucking done. From here on, it's you and me. You're number one. Everybody else is second. And man, it was just like that. When I started putting myself before anybody else, because at the end of the day, if you cannot treat yourself and basically be your own right of that before anybody else, you can't be with it. You can't. You know, how are you gonna love somebody if you don't even love yourself right now? So, you know, listening to this guy, to Art, it made me think about a lot of things. It says, you know, you have all these haters, including yourself. You got to flip the switch, and sometimes you got to trim the fat. Let go of some of those haters. You got to LIG it. You know, let it go. Okay, and that means sometimes even cutting off family, because I've even trimmed off the fat of family, because those are people that are going to keep you down, okay, and drag you down. It's kind of like the crab bucket effect. You know, for anybody who's been a fisherman, you can catch a shit ton of crab with a piece of chicken, and then stick them in a bucket, and you see these crabs are pulling themselves down. And that's what they'll do, because they want to keep you down there with them. So as this guy got better, financially got better, you know, he noticed himself as like, fuck, you know, here I am, you know, with all these people, I need to let go. So he changed, and he went to, you know, basically he asked himself, because he would try to help family, you know, he tried to help his friends. Hey, let me help you, you know, get to your let me see where your financials are, and blah blah blah, you know, whatever. And they're like, oh man, you know, you're from the hood. What do you know about finances? And this dude, or, you know, he got his finance license. He got his life license. He's doing all these things. And he's like, you know what I realize is that when they tell you, hey man, I'm fine. I'm good. You know, I'm okay. You know, and he would ask them, and I was like, man, this made a lot of sense. He asked them, hey, if you're saying you're good, you're fine, I mean, where are you measuring that at? Fine against who? I mean, who is your measuring stick? Because the last time I looked, I mean, you're still living in the hood. You're still working at a warehouse. You're still, you still go drinking and partying and whatever. And then at the end of the month, you're struggling financially to put food on the table, or you're not putting money away for your retirement for later on in life. So when you say I'm good, what is your measuring stick? And man, as soon as he said, I'm like, holy shit, that makes a lot of sense. I've been there. I've been there before. And as humans, we tend to fall back on. So let me ask yourself the question here, fellow listener, is what is your measuring stick? Who are you? Do you have somebody, or who's your rabbit? And what do I mean by that? When I was in the Marine Corps, and even to this day, I mean, my rabbit is a little slower. But when I took a fitness test, I always picked whoever was faster than I was, but that I could always keep that I could keep a visual on them and try to catch. So my goal was to always, hey, that rabbit of mine, I'm going to catch that rabbit and I'm going to pass that rabbit. That was always my goal. For my 20 plus years in the Marine Corps, hey, where's my rabbit? And I took that with me. So who is your rabbit? Who is that person or individual that you look up to financially, or where they're at in a period of life where you see yourself and that you're striving to be? You got to have that, because if you don't have that, I'm telling you, we're not going to get anywhere ahead. Even the richest person in the world has they have some, someone or somebody or something that they want, that's their rabbit. So you need to find out who your rabbit is and see where you're at, and then have a measuring stick. I'm like, okay, I'm not there yet. I'm getting there, but I could be better, because at the end of the day, we all strive to be better, do good. But if you're not doing the do, and what I mean by doing the do, if you're just saying, oh, I'm going to do this, okay, but are you doing the do? Oh, tomorrow I'm going to start exercising. Okay, I'm are you doing the do? Okay, or I'm going to lose, I am going to lose weight. Okay, are you doing the do? In other words, hey, are you dropping that freaking spoon and stop putting, Haagen-Dazs, dulce de leche ice cream? I'm talking to myself right now, but those are things that if you don't do the do, you're not going to get anywhere in life. If you don't have a rabbit that that you're chasing, that's something that gives you strive for, it's going to take you that much longer to get ahead. You know what I'm saying? Because if you think you're successful or that you're successful, I'm here to tell you folks, success is never owned. It's rented, and rent is due every fucking day. You got to get up and do that shit and hit it hard. You got to be a beast. If you want to be a beast, you got to do beast things. That means that have a fucking, in the mornings, get up, have a routine. Every successful person will tell you that they have a routine. Whatever it is, they have a routine. Get up at 4 a.m, walk your dog, walk a mile. This is what I do. I walk a mile with my dog. It's like there is no bargaining on that. And if it's raining, then guess what? Then after that walk, we come back and we do PT, physical training. We do PT right here in the house. We do whatever, but have a routine. Meditate. Get up early. Get yourself, give yourself some sleep. Now, if you're hustling, if you're out there doing the do, making shit happen, then, and you got to lose some sleep, then by all means, yes, that 100%, you need to do that, because at the end, because even though, like I just said, success is never owned, it is rented. You gotta, and success is not promised at all whatsoever freaking ever. Okay. If you think that you're gonna, hey, I'm gonna do this and I'm not gonna go through the hard times as part of the progress, you're freaking fooling yourself. A diamond. How does a diamond become a diamond? It starts out as a piece of coal, okay, as nothing. It turns into a diamond with pressure, and through pressure, hard times, grinding, all those other things that we think, man, why is the universe treating me like shit? Why? Sometimes we even blame God, and I'm telling you, God has nothing to. God is like, hey, dude, free will, fucking suck it up. You know what I'm saying? God is not doing that. Under pressure and those things, that's part of the process. That's part of what you need to do to get ahead in life. And you got to keep telling yourself each and every day that, holy shit, I'm not there. I'm not where I need to be, but I'm on my way. These shitty times right now, they will pass. You need to repeat that to yourself every day, and you need to be relentless. Let me tell you, it's not easy, because everything that I've worked so hard for, I've had to pay the price. And you have to be able to pay the toll and pay that price all the way, so that way you reap the benefits. And then when you get to that place, you're grateful and very freaking thankful for everything that you have at that moment. And you have to, just like Bruce Lee once said, hey, during the good times, enjoy the good times. During the bad times, enjoy the bad times, because everything is a period, and everything will pass. So when times are good, enjoy them. When times are bad, that's okay. Remember the good times and keep, buckle down and move forward. But you need to make that shit happen. You cannot give up. If you folks have heard me read that, I've read the book Think and Grow Rich. I've read that thing this year. I read it 3 times. Atomic Habits was another, I read that thing 4 times, but you need to make that shit happen. And there's a story in there, and I have it on my vision board right there in the kitchen. And basically, the story of a gentleman named by the name of Barnes. Barnes during the gold era, he had, he bought a plot of land. He went out there, started digging. Boom! He struck gold. He found a fault line full of gold, and he's like, "Oh snap! I'm gonna kill it!" Right? And he did. He made a lot of money, so he went back home. And then when he went home, he got everybody involved, his friends, his family. He got investor. All these people gave him their money so that way he can buy more equipment because everybody was going to become rich. He goes back. He starts digging, and guess what? That gold, that fault line, gone. And he's like, "Oh shit!" And months went by, and he's looking for this gold, this fault line of gold, and nothing until he gave up, and he said, "Shit, I lost it. There's nothing there." So he went back to town, and basically he sold all his equipment, including that plot of land, for $500 at the time, which it was this is in the 1800s. This is some nice chunk of change, but he somewhat made that some of his money and was able to pay some of that money off, right? However, the guy that bought where he was selling it, because the guy was telling him, hey, Barnes was telling the owner where he was selling his stuff, man, I'll buy everything for $500. This guy didn't know anything. He didn't know jack about fault lines, but he knew one thing. He knew, let me just get a second opinion from a professional. So he found a metallurgist, somebody who knew about soils and all that stuff. And after taking a look, and he goes in there, sometimes because of time goes by and pressure, fault lines tend to shift. So, and the guy ran the numbers and did his thing, and he did a study. He goes, hey, if we shift 3 feet this way, we may find out. And guess what? That's exactly what he did. He shifted 3 feet, and then they struck gold, and that guy became stupid rich. So the lesson here is 3 feet. Sometimes we give ourselves when we're a day, couple days, a week, weeks, a month, a couple months, hell, a year or two, a couple of years from striking that fault line and striking gold, we decide to give up and say fuck it and just go back home. By the way, Barnes went back. And yes, he went back with his tail between his legs. However, he went back and basically he went back and started selling life insurance. Again, this is late 1800s, 1900s, and the guy started generating up to $1 million income on life insurance. So he became a millionaire, and he was very successful after that. He even got to work with Thomas Edison and many other. His story just didn't end there. However, he did remember that lesson, and he said that, and every time he did something, he always said to himself, hey, I'm just 3 feet from my goal. So how far are you from your goal? Okay. And are you willing to be humble and ask questions, ask for help, so that way people can guide you, can coach you, can mentor you, and help you and put you back in line, because you may be just 3 feet away from striking gold, from achieving your dreams, from setting yourself, whether it's financially free, whether it's your education, whether it's your job, whether it's your business, whatever it is in life. What is it that you're doing that you're fucking 3 feet away, man? And are you being a beast? Are you being a lion? Are you willing to do what shit that lions do to make things happen? Okay? Or are you just sitting on the fucking sidelines, just being that one dog just barking at everybody, spitting out freaking hate and discontent, and just being that negative Sally, when you should be out there running with the pack and making shit happen? Where are you at? Where is that? Are you being the best version of you that you can be? If the answer is no, you got work to do. We got work to do. Fuck, I have work to do. So we need to go out there and be that best version of you and be a beast. Okay, whether it's getting up early at night, whether you need to study for that test, whether you know life is going to test you. You're going to fail that test. You're going to fail it maybe once, twice, you know, in order to make shit happen. And that's just life telling you, okay, I'm going to throw some tests at you to see how bad do you want this shit. At what point? Let me see at what point I can break you, or at what point, do you break? You know, like some people say, break that glass roof, and then I'm gonna give you all these amazing things for you, so that way, just when that way when you taste success, it just tastes that much better. You know, because yes, although I've had success in my career, I've had success in my life, I've also had some really shitty times, but I just keep telling myself, hey, only this will pass. Hell, I've been going through something, pretty difficult, with my current employer. Again, although I'm doing financial, I'm in the financial game in my off time, and I'm doing really great at it. Hey, I mean, again, what you see here is, oh man, this dude is getting. We all go through our shitty times, but let me tell you, I'm just putting my head down because I know it's temporary. Everything is fucking temporary, and things are gonna get better. It has to. Nobody here came into life we're made to be abundant people, and it all starts with having heart coherence, and that your heart and mind are aligned. And what do I mean by that is that stop being your own negative Sally. Stop cock blocking yourself. Stop holding yourself back, because the shittier and the more negative you become, the more. Have you noticed that when you're negative, or you with your negative people, it's like that's all they attract. It's like, oh man, I know you have a cousin, an uncle, an aunt, una tia, somebody in your life that you're like, oh my God, this motherfucker is an energy vampire. And that it seems like they're constantly going through some type of different struggle, because let me tell you, they brought that shit upon themselves. Don't do that. Yes, positive people have shitty times. Yes, positive people have hardships. It's how bad you process that stuff, and you're able to flip the script on yourself, or as my mom would say, voltear la torta. Basically flip the script on yourself, and basically think of it in a different way, because those are all lessons. These are all life lessons that make you better. You're a diamond in the rough, and pressure's being added, so that way you can shine very pretty when it's all said and done. So, you need to look at yourself and start treating yourself better, start talking to yourself better, and just know that, hey, all shitty times are going to go by. And I'm talking to you too. For those of us and we use PTSD sometimes as a crutch, and it prevents us from getting ahead. Yes, I have PTSD. Yes, I believe I see things, and things become, from a different perspective, that much of a bigger struggle, because of that simple fact that the things that life has thrown on me, and obviously combat, and the other things I've been exposed to. However, I don't let that try to get me down to the point where, in the sense that I need to be able to start, and I talk to myself, hey, nope, let's not do that. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. It's not worth it. I've been there before, but we're not going to go there before. Let's get some help. Let's talk to somebody. Let me go back to the VA. Let me bug them, even though the last time they were being assholes to me, whatever. Let me keep bugging them, so that way, because I'm going to become the fucking squeaky wheel, so that way they can give me the help and assistance that I'm requesting and that I need. Okay. Or let me ask my loved ones, I'm struggling, please help me. Voice it out, because at the end of the day, you need to do that. You need to be able to know that time is going, again, even though these shitty times are here, they're not here to stay. It's all temporary. So start working on you. Start being a better version of you than you were yesterday. And then start focusing on things that are going to get you where you need to be. Start reading, start listening to audiobooks if you don't want to read. Start educating, okay? Don't stop learning. My fellow service members, fellow veterans, Don't stop talking to yourself when you're getting out. Oh, I can't wait to get out and become fucking fat and be a food blister and drink and this and that. Let me tell you, do you know the health issues that you're bringing onto yourselves as we get older? Age doesn't come by itself. It comes with friends called fucking arthritis. It's some of us diabetes. Obesity. Hardening of our arteries. So if that's what you want in fucking life, I mean, hey, have at it. But no, I'm not attacking you, Angel. But I'm just saying that as a whole, let's be a better version of our and taking care of us. So don't let go of all the good things that the Army, the Navy, the Marine Corps, the Air Force, the Coast Guards, the Space Force, the Army National Guard, all those things that when you went through boot camp, all those amazing things that those drill instructors and drill sergeants and instructors that they gave you, don't do that to yourselves. It's like you're going back a million steps, man. Don't forget, where you came from, and take care of yourself so that way you could be an ass stumping, bar fighting in your late 50s and 60s, ass kicking motherfucker. Okay. Because at the end of the day, when as we get older, we don't want to be walking around with all broken, all that stuff. So take care of yourselves and be a better version of you. Find your rabbit, find your find your purpose. Don't give up and stay engaged. I think this is a great fucking way to index this show. And pretty much I said goodbye earlier, again, about struggling and ruminating and all that stuff. You already heard all that good shit, but hey, that's your homework for this weekend. I want you to post on my page. And by the way, the show is kind of changing a little bit. We're going to go through, we're tweaking the delivery method of the show. So be patient with us as we go through some changes. But nonetheless, hey, we're still here. We're going to give you some amazing shows. Go back and go on our Facebook page, go on our YouTube channel, go on my Instagram, check us out, and just keep supporting the show and spread the fucking word. All right. So, get some index, motherfucker. Ice the moss, dice the key. See you next week. Take care.